Friend! Oh, new friend! Oh, friend! Please be my friend! Oh, friend!
Hello and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. I am your host Luke, and we're going to take you through everything that happened in NXT UK this week. It is a barnstormer of a show, including the second part of the quarterfinals of the UK Women's Championship tournament, and we've also got Eddie Dennis and other superstars of NXT as well in the show. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to know when we upload new videos. Also, share us with your friends, leave us a comment down below, follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and we're going to go swiftly on to the show. We'll see you there. So your first match of episode 9 of NXT UK is a UK Women's Championship tournament featuring Zia Brookside versus Rhea Ripley. Of course, Rhea Ripley did really well in the Mae Young tournament, and Zia Brookside got taken out by the eventual finalist Io Shirai. Almost forgot what her name was then. Io Shirai took out Zia Brookside early on in the tournament, I think in the first round, to be fair. And yeah, Rhea Ripley came in with a new attitude, got a lot further than she did in last year's tournament, reaching the semi-finals, going out eventually to the tournament winner, Toni Storm. So yeah, two ladies that have got a lot to prove in this UK Women's Championship tournament. Zia Brookside does give a good account of herself this time. She gave a good account of herself against Zia Brookside, but she definitely got more impact in this match as well. Ripley does show her strength throughout the match, but Zia Brookside then shows her speed, hitting some Hurricane Runners and things like that, knocking Rhea Ripley off her feet and off her stride and off her game plan at certain points during the match. But Rhea Ripley continues to ragdoll Zia Brookside throughout the match. Brookside is then put into a standing cloverleaf move by Rhea Ripley, which is quite impressive actually. Doesn't sink down onto it, just stands there with her legs crossed, and yeah, quite impressive move showing her power. Brookside showing a little bit of fight again with the Hurricane Runner, but gets caught trying to fly one too many times and is planted with a power bomb. Rhea Ripley wins and goes through to the semi-finals of the tournament for the NXT UK Women's Championship. And match 2 of the evening features Jack Stars versus Eddie Dennis, the heel Eddie Dennis. We've recently seen a heel turn from Eddie in Hope Wrestling as well, going along with his character, and he does play a really, really good monster heel, and he knows how to play the character. But Stars starts strong, knowing that Eddie Dennis is coming in, having not lost in NXT UK so far. Obviously his attitude change as well. Tries to get the jump on Eddie. Eddie then snaps, stares at him with this sort of head teacher glare, and you know you've done something wrong, and just has his way with Jack Stars from here. There's a spinning backbreaker from Eddie Dennis. There's lots of strikes from both men, in fact. Drop kick misses when he tries to hit a missile drop kick. The 7 bridge buckle bomb is then hit by Eddie Dennis, and there's no coming back for Jack Stars at this point. There's a guillotine bomb from Eddie Dennis after this for the win. Jack Stars didn't really stand a chance. Eddie Dennis is your winner for, I think that's his second win in NXT UK since debuting a couple of weeks ago. But your winner is Eddie Dennis. Your third match, lots of wrestling on this week's show with hardly any filler, which is good, is Mark Andrews, another chap who's thought highly of by the WWE. Been in WWE for a good year now after the Cruiserweight Championship tournament a couple of years ago. I think it was 2016 now. Seems like a long time ago. Been in NXT, been on 205 Live, been with WWE for a couple of years, while against Wild Boar. Boar was unsuccessful in his first match on NXT UK. Well, Mark Andrews has had a little bit of an indifferent time on NXT UK, winning a couple of matches, losing his last match, which was the 6-man tag match with the Scottish Invasion. So yeah, it's looking like a really good match, this one. Two guys with something to prove. Boar immediately gets on top of Andrews, but Andrews does show his speed, has a little bit of a comeback. Outside, Andrews is planted onto the apron by Wild Boar. There is then a senton by Wild Boar. Andrews hits an enziguri. Boar rolls onto the outside now, having had a flurry of moves from Andrews. Moonsault and seated senton back into the ring from Mark Andrews. So we're back in the ring now. Boar hits a senton in the corner, gets the first near fall of the match. Then Wild Boar reverses move from Andrews, but Andrews then hits a stun dog millionaire, hits a shooting star press. The game is over for Wild Boar at this point, and Andrews gets the win. Impressive show from both of these guys in this match, but Andrews perhaps a little bit more impressive, beating the stronger man in this match. And Andrews moves on with his momentum, perhaps to challenge for the championship at some point during the run of NXT UK. So we then have an interview segment with Eddie Dennis. Eddie is telling us all why he is so good, and I've got to agree with him. Ashton Smith then interrupts Eddie Dennis and says, you need to take on someone your own size. Eddie Dennis is really irate by this as Ashton Smith walks off and goes full Welsh. If you don't know what I mean, watch episode 9 of NXT UK. It is absolutely hilarious. But Eddie Dennis is awesome. Awesome. So we then go on to match 4. Yeah, 4 matches in the 1 hour show. It is the second tournament match of this week's show. Of course, the other 2 quarterfinal matches happened last week. Isla Dawn versus Toni Storm is the final match of the quarterfinals to crown the first ever UK Women's Champion. Dawn has the run of this match throughout most of the match. Toni Storm really struggles to get back into things after Isla Dawn hits Toni Storm early on. Sucker punch, lots of strong strikes. Like I say, Storm just can't get going in this match. Dawn does get back on top whenever Toni Storm does mount a flurry of offense. There's a double hook submission broken up by Toni Storm. Isla Dawn then trash talks Toni Storm, where Toni Storm then sees the opening and gets back in the match. Toni Storm hits a quick German suplex, a snap German suplex, hits the Storm 0, and there's no coming back for Isla Dawn from this. Pin 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm is your winner. She is moving on to the semi-finals of the championship tournament to crown the first ever NXT Women's UK Champion. And so match number 5 of the evening. 5 matches in a 1 hour show. Ooh, someone call the Raw writers and tell them that this can actually happen in a show. It is El Ligero, or just Ligero as he is known now in WWE, versus Jordan Devlin. Incidentally, El Ligero has signed a permanent deal with WWE UK. Good luck to him. I hope he does really well, and he seems to be doing really well in NXT UK. And I hope he's one of the big players, because he definitely deserves it. He is a phenomenal masked wrestler in the vein of Rey Mysterio, and other master wrestlers. He is absolutely fantastic. But Jordan Devlin is just as fantastic as well after his initial showing in the UK Championship tournament, the original one. Coming in as sort of like a babyface, came into the last tournament as a heel, having been the Irish champion for a whole year. Love the new attitude of Jordan Devlin. He seems like he's more focused, he seems like he's more hard hitting, and it is definitely showing. Unbeaten in NXT UK, and I think he's had about 3 or 4 matches at this point. So yeah, really, really good. Really impressed by Jordan Devlin and El Ligero. The UK scene is on the rise at the moment. It is a revolution of UK wrestling. But let's get on to the match. El Ligero gets in there quickly and gets on top of Jordan Devlin. And great wrestling from both. Technical wrestling, feeling out processes, lots of arm holds, lots of headlocks. The quickness favours El Ligero. We wouldn't say that in a Jordan Devlin match really, but the quickness does favour El Ligero with his high-flying moveset. El Ligero is unpredictable. Jordan Devlin just can't see where things are coming from. Devlin does catch Ligero with a bookend and a standing moonsault just to turn the tide very quick. Jordan Devlin turns the momentum just like that. Devlin on top, counter by Ligero, but Devlin quickly gets back in the match with another counter and gets the break by holding the ropes, gets on top again. Devlin catches Ligero on the top rope as he's going for his flying move. Goes for a splash, misses. Devlin gets the knees up, and there's a quick near fall by Jordan Devlin. Devlin then tries the Spanish fly. This is a near fall. Ligero hits the top rope spider suplex. There's then a splash combo and another near fall. Devlin kicking out the splash. El Ligero cannot believe it. Both on the apron at this point. Ligero goes for the suplex off the steps. Ligero is sent face first into the steps, and this is where the match turns in favour of Jordan Devlin. There is another moonsault by Jordan Devlin off the stairs onto the floor, onto Ligero. Devlin hits his finisher for the win. Devlin moves on with his momentum. Where is this going to take Devlin? Who knows, but I'm sure it's going to take him quite far in the near future. And there we have everything that happened in NXT UK this week in episode 9 of NXT UK, and so far I'm really enjoying NXT UK as much as NXT US, I guess you'd call it now. Another great show, fantastic show, lots of wrestling in this show, hardly any talking, which is great. I understand they have to have the episodes where they're building storylines and stuff, but this was by far, so far, the best episode that I've seen of NXT UK, and we've still got plenty more to come. Momentum picks up going into future storylines, going into the first ever UK NXT UK takeover, which is in Blackpool at the Ballroom, the place where it all started 2 years ago, which is fantastic. Tickets sold out in 3 hours. 3. I mean, come on. I'd love to have gone to that show, but sadly it was announced and the tickets went on sale before I got paid, so I can't go. So you will not see me reporting from that live, but I'm hoping we'll do that at some point if NXT UK Takeover is greatly accepted and they do other ones around the country. So this is Cheap Shot Entertainment. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. I hope you've enjoyed this video of NXT UK, going through everything that happened during the show. I am your host, Luke. You're watching Cheap Shot Entertainment. I think I've already said that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to know when we upload new content to the channel. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.